Hello, everybody. This is the demo for Project 5 by Group 2, where we have made a simple shopping application for users. First, we'll begin with the demo of our API demonstrated via Postman. The first endpoint that we would like to demo is our sign up endpoint. Whenever a user wants to access some of the user specific features of our application, they need to sign up into the application first, and if they already have their credentials, they can log in using those credentials. This is the information that will be needed to create the user first name, last name, gender, email, and the password. The email and the password will be the credentials which will be used for logging the user in at a later time. So when we send a request to sign up, on a successful response we'll get a unique id assigned to the user, along with the information of the user and a token which can now be used to access other endpoints of the application. Along with that, you can also see that a customer id was generated. This customer id is the ID by which this user was registered on Braintree by the server during sign up. This is done so that a user can make payments in the future using the application. Now there are certain constraints and validations on this field. For example, if the first name or the last name have numeric values, or if the gender is something other than male or female, and the password is less than 6 digits or greater than 20 digits, we have validations which are specific to every error. So we'll get errors saying that the first name, last name can have only alphabets, the gender can only be male or female, and the password needs minimum 6 and maximum 20 characters. Apart from that, if a user tries to create another account with the same email ID, they will receive an error because only one user can be created by one email ID, since it is the unique information used for logging the user in. So if we try to create a new user, we'll get an error saying that the email is already being used. So now let's try to log in with the new user that we have made using our login endpoint. Now, as you can see, upon logging in, again the user information along with the customer ID of Braintree will be returned, and also a token will be returned, which is a JWT token, which can be used for accessing further resources in the application. The login request requires a basic authorization header which will take the username and password, and will pass it on to the endpoint in order to verify if the user is present in the system, and if they are, is the password correct or not. So while signing up a user, the password will be hashed and salted and stored in the database. And while we are verifying the user against the password in the login URL, this incoming password will again be hashed and salted, and these hashed values will be this hash value will be compared to the value present in the database in order to make sure that the user is properly authenticated. This is done using the bcrypt JS library of Node.js. The next endpoint we have is to get all the items available in the system for the user to shop. Now, these items are public resources stored on the server which can be accessed even without any authorization. Hence, if we simply send the request, we'll get a list of items available for the users to shop. Every item will have a ID, the discount percentage available on it, the name, the photo, that is the image that is associated with it, and the price and the region. So our next endpoint will help us fetch an individual item from this list of items that we returned earlier by just passing an additional URL parameter, which is the ID of that item. So let's say that we try to retrieve an item with ID 12. We will get the item with ID 12. Now let's say that the ID of the item which we seek is not present in the in the on the server. We'll get an error saying that no item was found with this particular ID. Again, this endpoint does not require any authorization because this is a public resource available to all users. The next URL is the get images URL, where we will simply pass the image name in the URL parameter, which will render us the image from the server. Now, moving on is the uh, URL to is the endpoint to update the cart of a particular user. Now this endpoint will require authorization, as this is a user specific endpoint. The cart will belong to a certain user, hence it will not allow anybody to proceed without a login. So let's say we try to send a request without a login or without a JWT token. We're going to get an error saying that authorization header is needed in order to proceed. So we'll give the authorization header. And now in the body, you can see that we specify the ID, the quantity, and the operation that has to be done on the item with the ID specified. So what this body basically indicates is that we want to add the item 5 with quantity 3 into the cart of the user to whom the token that we specified belongs. So let's say we send this request, we'll see a message saying cart updated. Now if we say that we want to remove two items from the cart with ID 5, the items will be removed and we'll get a result saying that the cart is updated. uh, there are two cases in this situation. Number one is that when you try to add an item which is not present in the cart of the user, the item will simply get added as a new item in the cart list of the user. However, if the item is already present in the cart of the user, the quantity will simply be added to the cart. Second scenario is for remove. Let's say that the ID that we are specifying to be removed from the cart was never added to the cart. We'll get an error saying that no such item was present in the cart to be removed. uh, let's say that we want to remove the item 5 with quantity 2 from the cart. Now as we remember, we had added 3 items and removed 2 items, so we are left with only one item in the cart. So we cannot remove 2 items from the cart. So if we send this request, we are going to get an error saying that the number of items trying to be removed from the cart is more than the items that are present in the cart currently. So if we put 1 as the quantity and say remove, the whole item is going to be removed from the list and the cart is going to be updated. Now we have another endpoint which will get the whole cart item along with the total price of the cart for the user to whom the token belongs. So let's try to fetch the cart of this current user. As we can see, the total is 0 because we removed the one item that was there in the cart. Let's say we add back the item 5 with quantity 1. As you will see in the cart, this item 5 gets added to the cart and we can see the total price, which also calculates or factors in the discount. Now let's say we again want to add item 5 with quantity 4, and we send the request. Now upon getting the cart total, you'll see that the total gets updated and the item 5 whole quantity became 5 in total. Next, if we want to remove three items, we want to remove the three quantity from the item 5 from the cart, and we send a request and we check our cart to see the progress. Now you can see that item 5 will have only quantity 2 that is left. Now let's say we remove quantity 2 from the cart and we send a request. Now, as you can see, the cart is totally empty. There are no items present since we removed the item 5 completely from the cart list. The next endpoint is kind of an important one when it comes to our application. This endpoint is used to get a token from Braintree in order to make a successful payment, or in order to get a nonce from the Braintree server from the client side. So whenever a user wants to request for a customer token, the authorization header needs to be passed, from which the user will be decoded and the customer ID on that was generated on Braintree side will be fetched. This customer token is then created using that customer ID, and along with it we pass a parameter to verify the card before the nonce is returned from the Braintree server to the client, so that the card verification will be done prior to generating the nonce. If the card is invalid, a nonce won't be returned. Instead, only a error will be displayed to the user. So let's say that we want to fetch a customer token for the logged in user. You send a request. So this endpoint will make a request to Braintree with the client ID of the logged in user, and they'll generate a client token, which is a JWT, and it is sent back in the response to the user on hitting this URL. This token can now be used to create a nonce from the client who is trying to make the payment. The next endpoint that we would like to see is the checkout endpoint. The checkout endpoint is going to allow the user to to make the actual payment on Braintree. So in order to check out the user, check out the cart items of the user, we first need the login credentials of the logged in the token generated by login by the user. Second is we need the nonce that was generated by the client and was a part of this request. We will use a fake valid nonce, which is a testing value provided by Braintree. Second, we need the device data, and the date, address, city, state, zip code, and phone number are something we are using in order to store the address and phone number associated with every order that is placed. In order to make the payment through to Braintree finally, we need the nonce, the device data. Along with that, we also need the amount total that needs to be paid to Braintree. But we will calculate that amount based on the number of items that are present in the cart of the user whose JWT token is used. So upon hitting this URL, we will see that right, So we are seeing an error message saying that we cannot proceed, the user cart is improper. So that means that our user cart does not have any items in it, therefore it won't allow us to check out. This is one of the error validations that we have done. So let's say that we are adding item 5 with quantity 2, and then we are adding item 3 with quantity 1 in the cart. So now our cart will have two items, and now we can check out. Now it will give us a message saying that the payment was successful using the nouns and the device data and the amount that was calculated from the cart. We Upon successful payment, the server will remove all the items from the cart and place them in the previous order history of the user. So let's see how the previous order history of the user looks like. Again, it requires the authenticated JWT. It requires the JWT token for authentication. So upon hitting this URL to get the previous orders, we will get a list of orders and the data associated with that order, data and items associated with that order, the amount, the date, the address, the zip code, and the items. Now, when we check out, we store all the transaction information in our database, like the client with whom the payment was made, the card, the details of the card that were used to make the payments, the type of the card, etc. But this information won't be returned in the response, as it is sensitive information. Next, we have an endpoint which will allow us to empty the complete cart of the user. So let's say we try to empty a cart which is already empty. We are going to get an error message saying that no items were found in the cart. So if we let's say add item 3 to our cart, we can see that our cart is now having item 1. Now let's send a request to empty the complete cart. Now the cart, we get a message saying that the cart is emptied, and if we try to get the cart, we are not going to get any cart items, just a total of 0, which means the whole cart was emptied by this endpoint and was not added in the previous order history, as we are just cleaning up the cart. And the last endpoint that we would like to show is the endpoint to get the information of the user who is logged in into the system currently. This again will be done using the authorization header by passing the JWT token. Upon doing so, we'll get all the information of the user, including the ID, first name, last name, gender, email, and the customer ID of the account of the user created on Braintree site. That's it for our demo of the Postman API generated for our application. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you in the app demo that we have coming up next.